the simplification, because complexities are just an amassed group of simplicities. Look at the boundaries of law enforcement and military, how good they are at that. Oh my God, you have rules and laws and boundaries, and you will abide by that, or there are consequences. So we can also set kind of strict consequences for ourselves, saying, my boundary is I'm not going to go around this particular person because of how they treat me. Or when I'm around this other kind of person, I'm going to enact my boundaries and be aware that what I say, they will repeat everything to other people. So we can't treat everybody alike. To say that we treat everybody the same is not valid when the personality is involved. You can treat them, their soul, the way you're treating your soul, which is with acceptance and with love and with dignity. But in order to be able to express that in physical life and cultures, you got to have self rules. And right now in this country, we're fighting all that. We have rules for who comes into this country and how they're vetted. And now anyone can come in. I'm getting political, but I'm using it as an example where you're breaking in line. And you don't get to do that because you're breaking a law. The people that I've known who have come into this country legally, it takes them years to become citizens and then residents and citizens of this country. When you are a verified person, other countries have that too. I think Canada does too. But we're in these crazy times where we're thinking we need to redo the good rules as well as the ones don't work. We'll figure it out.
But we've got no other choice unless we want to keep going down a path of destruction.
Well, we are going down a path of destruction, but that's Ray 1. Not everything is. There's a bunch of cool stuff happening too. There's wonderful, good things happening. And you're always going to have opposition from what we call the other side, because this is a world of up, down, right, left, night, day, girl, boy, things that are opposites that aren't going to change. And we tend to fight those change and want to soften the edges of those things and say, well, it's not really true. Well, of course, it is. And so those are the boundaries that we need for the self. You need to find out, look in that mirror, who the heck are you? What do you want? What are you really, really trying to accomplish? What dramas can you get out of your life? How can you be kinder as well as stricter with yourself? And I don't mean beating yourself up, but saying, you know what? I'm just not going to do that anymore. I've done it all my life and it doesn't work. And then you're going to grieve it. But so what? That's what Ray 1 is. That is what we are under, the ray of destruction. Also, you have to destroy the old for the new to come in. Look at buildings, look at cultures, everything cycles, it recycles, and that's a divine, joyful thing.
It is really important to remember that, because I often get stuck in the sadness or the fear of the destruction, the pain that's being caused, when really there's growth and there's beauty to come.
Well, there is something to be grieved. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I hate seeing some of the things that's happening to human beings, to some beautiful structures that are now going away, to things in my life that'll never come back. I'm 72. I'll never be 30 again. I have to grieve the loss of being able to physically go run and ride quads and do what I did. I can do what I do, but things change, and we can share that and have some humor with it. And the beauty about talking as we have about Maitreya and the Masters of Wisdom coming more fully into the life visually, the optics will help. And the chatter about it will help. We're wanting people to know that not only is there hope, but there is a future, a brilliant future coming. AI will change everything. Now, the other day, Elon, in an interview, he says he wished he could slow down AI a little bit. Well, yeah, that might be helpful. But could we have slowed down the horseless carriage coming in? Look how disruptive that was. So look at the jobs that were lost. I don't know how to address that. It's not my area. I'm a civilian. I'm not military. I'm not law enforcement. I'm a civilian and a research analyst in this field of psionics that says there's a different world that we don't even notice every day, and that's the inner senses. And that is what we're going to have to use to understand that when Maitreya and the Masters of Wisdom are standing up there on the day of declaration saying, here's the potential. Nobody's coming to save you. Do not pray to us. If you're going to pray, you pray to God. Whatever you believe God to be, we're here to fix politics and economics, not religion. Stay in the religion you're in. It will lead you to your truth.
There's a lot of hope in that. And there's also a reminder that there's help.
There is always help, and they are available to you now, not to fulfill your personal, I need a new car, I need to feel better, but to say, what is your direction in life? They deal with your soul. Your soul is a God on its own plane. It is perfect. It is your representation of what you have come here in every life to do. And that is so powerful and so uplifting. You have the abilities and the power available to you of things you may not even know right now. So when we hope for, we all want the same things: wholesome life, enough food, shelter, water, clothing, medical care, education. We will have those things, but we all want those. And what is dividing us is the argumentation of how to get them. So after the day of declaration, a plan through the United Nations that's been set up for decades will occur. And what's happened with the United Nations is it is decayed into an emotional, dramatic mess, but it will return. There is a plan. It's called the Plan of Light, Love, and Power. Maitreya's priority is to feed people. So let's say that one country has a lot of cotton and they need wheat. There will be a very informal but complex form of barter that happens. We will trade you equal amounts of this cotton for that wheat. You see what I'm saying? Every country will do that. That will feed people. Within a relatively short period of time, the world will be talking to each other about something, politics and economics, but in a way to really help. And you will see leaders of the people come up. You will see it happen because the destruction of commercialism, even though commercialism it can be awful, it's also necessary in a way. The destruction of that is that we are materialistic. We've put a dollar sign on everything. That's just how it is right now. That will melt away. How? I don't know. But there is a plan to feed people, to get potable water to everybody. And I mean everybody. What world will that be? And that's the future. That is what's coming. And the next thing will be medical care. And it's not like one thing will happen and the other one. There will be people working on all these things at once. But Maitreya's priority is food and water. Then it's the medical care. It's the housing, the medical care. And then after that, it's education and then the arts. Now, when there's the food distribution and bartering happen, will the arts be on the back burner? No. People will be doing those and there will be changes that come to that because of this. It's not it's like the grieving process. You might grieve, you might be in denial, and then you're angry about it 2 minutes later. And then you're accepting with it. These things cycle. But the priorities, and because everything's energy, the energy that is going from the great Lord through the masters, Master Jesus included, who is called the Christ in that way, even though Maitreya has the job position that's called the Christ. And and he is doing that in the age of Aquarius. In about 2,000 years, at the age of Capricorn, he says he'll be here till the end of the age. There will be a new person with a job position of Christ. It's probably Kutumi. It's probably him. I don't know. But this is a whole world that's not discussed because we spend all our time trying to survive. I know families, they're working 2, 3 jobs and they go to the food bank. This will change. Tomorrow? No. No. But the reason that Maitreya and the masters will be able to do the day declaration that many of the news channels already know about, and there are people set to bring this forth, is because we, the populations of the world, have clamored to say, God help us. God help us bring this forth. So a man who is now a 6th degree initiate who speaks for God will be saying that. Is that heretical? Absolutely it is. As far as the world religions are concerned, that is heresy. But who says that? People who want to control you, who keep things the status quo, who want money and power. That's all there is right now on the external, and that's what's going to change. So that's what we have to look forward to. In my lifetime or my next life, absolutely.
So is our addiction to profit what's preventing these changes from happening?
That's partially it. Yeah, that's a big piece of it. It's not just profit. It's the stuff on the planet too. It's the visuals. It's the desire body. It's the emotional body that for the past 100,000 years, if not a little before that, since the Atlantean Wars, the lords of materiality have run rampant. They've escaped the underworld. Their job is to hold the physical world in place. Now, love does that, but God controls them. So this was allowed to happen because we, the people, voted that way over 100,000 years ago.
It seems such like a beautifully easy thing in an ideal world that we have an abundance on this earth, that we have enough for everybody and everybody can share. And so I feel that beautiful future. But at the same time, it's so frustrating because there's so much holding that back. Just walking into the grocery store brings depression.
Yeah, it definitely can. It definitely can. And these masters that have returned to the earth to work into the outer structures, they know what they're doing. They're all specialists. And they're not here to find you a parking place. They got a lot more things to do. And if you want to be a part of what's coming, look in your own community, look next door, look in your house. What did you come here to do? What is your specialty? You've got one, and it's going to come.